I hope the breathing has helped to relax you. And let's do 2 yoga poses before we do our story for tonight. Ready? Tree pose. Stand tall and reach your arms above your head like branches on a tree. Place one foot firmly on the ground and then bring your other foot on the inside of your knee. Breathe deeply. So we will do that for a count of 10, and then we'll switch and do the other leg as well. Alright, so I go like this, or you can go like this. I just need to be able to balance myself, so. Alright, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and we'll do it the other side. So again, plant this leg firmly on the ground and bring this one to the inside of your knee. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. And one more. Downward facing dog. Lay down on your belly with your hands by your chest. Then lift your bum up into the air and make an upside down V shape with your body while breathing deep. All right. So, down, bum up, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Now let's do one more round of deep breathing before our story. And then we'll come back and do one more yoga pose. Ready? Enjoyed the yoga, and I hope you enjoyed this story. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there were 2 brothers who inherited their father's land. The 2 brothers divided the land in half, and each farmed his own section. Over time, the older brother married and had 6 children, while the younger brother never married. One night, the younger brother lay awake. "It's not fair that each of us has half the land to farm," he thought. "My brother has 6 children to feed, and I have none. He should have more grain than I do." So, that night, the younger brother went to his silo, gathered a large bundle of wheat, and climbed the hill that separated the 2 farms and over to his brother's. Leaving the wheat in his brother's silo, the younger brother returned home, feeling pleased with himself. Earlier that very same night, the older brother was also lying awake. "It's not fair that each of us has half the land to farm," he thought. "In my old age, my wife and I will have our grown children to take care of us, not to mention grandkids, while my brother will probably have none. He should sell more grain from the fields now so he can provide himself with dignity in his old age." So, he also went to his silo and gathered a large bundle of wheat, but went around the hill that separated the two farms and went over to his brother's farm. And leaving the wheat in his brother's silo, the older brother returned home, feeling very pleased with himself. The next morning, the two brothers went out to their silos and were surprised to see the grain in their barn unchanged. They both thought that maybe they just hadn't taken as much as they thought. So, the next night, they would take even more. So, after night fell, each brother gathered a greater amount of wheat from his barn. And this time, the younger brother went around the hill and the older brother went over the hill so that they didn't run into each other, and secretly delivered their grain to their brother's barn. But the next morning, the brothers were again puzzled, perplexed. How can I be mistaken? Each one scratched his head and thought, there is the same amount of grain here as there was before I cleared the pile for my brother. This is impossible. Tonight, I'll make no mistakes. I'll take the pile down to the very floor. That way, I'll be sure the grain gets delivered to my brother. On the third night, more determined than ever, each brother gathered all of the wheat from their barn, loaded it into several carts, and then slowly pulled their haul through the fields, and both of them went up over the hill. At the top of the hill, under the shadow of the moon, each brother noticed a figure in the distance. Who could it be? When the two brothers recognized the form of the other brother and the load they were pulling behind, they were both very confused and questioned one another. When the younger brother explained that he wanted to make sure that his older brother and his family had enough now, and the older brother explained that he wanted to make sure his younger brother was set for the future, they dropped the ropes to their carts and embraced. The next day, the younger brother came over to the older brothers, and they had a great big family meeting so that both had enough for now and the future. And so they all lived happily ever after. The end. I love a good tale of family love. Let's do one more yoga pose and some more deep breathing before we say goodnight. So do you guys think you could be like the siblings in that story? Let's do one more yoga pose and then we'll do some more deep breathing before we say goodnight. Ready? Turtle pose. Sit down with your legs in front of you, slightly bent. Lean forward and slide your hands under your knees to hold the inside of your ankles. Try to touch your forehead to your feet while breathing deep. So I always have to modify it, and I have to have my knees up a little bit, and then bring your hands down and kind of place them on the inside of your ankles, and then lean forward. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And namaste. I hope everybody has a great rest of your night, and we'll see you next time. Bye.